All right. Well, thank you so much. I know you're super busy. We're kind of light today because of the basketball game. We're still recording this for our senior class,
Oh
class
yeah.
2, for Coach Drain, Miss Brown, some of the other ones here. Now, where are you right now?
Right now I'm in Buffalo, New York.
No way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
over here with the snow.
had a great reaction in the room on that. That's pretty cool, and that's a beautiful Niagara Falls up there is one of the coolest
Yeah,
spots.
right.
Um, but Mateo Beamon, class of 2016, was a great graduating class here at Velma Jackson, and you now a truck driver. And like we talked about before, I remember speaking to coaches about you to play junior college football. They were really wanting you to come play. You were involved in football here, powerlifting with Coach Meeks. You were involved with drama with Miss Flanagan, and you were a great student as well. But yet you've made a great career for yourself as a truck driver.
Right.
So why don't you tell us what led you to that point? Because we hear a lot of these kids say, well, I'm just going to drive trucks because it's easy. And we all know it's not. Most of us know that it's not. It can be fun, but it's not just some easy job. It is very difficult and depends on a lot of skills, both communicating and time management. And as you said, a lot of customer service skills. So I'll let you tell us about
Right.
that, your path from Velma Jackson to a truck driver.
Okay, well, I mean, once I like whenever I was about to graduate, as I was like in a process of graduating, like the last semester, everybody trying to decide on where they want to go, what they want to do. And I thought I had wanted to pursue a career in like healthcare, like just because my mom was doing it. And like after a while, once after I started college and like as I progressed through college, I really felt like I was there for the wrong reasons. Even though I was handling the courses and I was handling the courses, but I was there for the wrong reasons. And I really feel like I was wasting my time because I really just didn't want to do it. I was just doing it because I thought my mama would be glad about it. So once I had decided like that I really wasted my time, I had I stopped going to school at home. That's where I was going to school at home. And like at once I had got out, I was kind of like, at a crossroads trying to figure out what's next. And like I had started working a few jobs around town, but I feel like I was just wasting time. So I had like family members that actually was in the transportation business, and I was just from being around them and just seeing how they operate. I said I should give it a shot, and ever since then, like it's been positive for me. That's the only thing I can say about it. It's been real positive.
Yeah, and that's super cool. I know last time you joined us, you were in Rock Hill, South Carolina, and now you're all the way in Buffalo, New York, on the Canadian border.
Right.
So, coming from Camden, how different is that to experience other parts of the country?
Oh, it's actually nice, something. And that's the thing I try to tell a lot of people. Like, if you get a chance to actually like move somewhere or just visit somewhere, go do it. Because that way you can compare it to how your home environment compares to different cities, and it actually like open your eyes to like different experiences. You may take some from like the visit that you done from like seeing different places. You might take some from there and that you may take you a long way that can help you out. And it's
Oh,
just good just seeing the different places though.
oh
Cause
yeah.
like this morning, not to cut you off, this morning when I had got unloaded, I was maybe like 50 yards away from Lake Erie. You can literally walk to the lake
Oh,
right where I was at, and you would like to see Canada across the water, but it's so much water across there that you actually can't even see. I wish I could share the picture with y'all.
that's all.
It's
Well, I
nice
know
though.
it can get foggy up there too, but that's still cool. I mean, um, and that is a beautiful area in upstate New York. I mean, there's not a lot of people from Camden that get to experience that. But obviously, you get to see a lot of the country, and that's obviously me myself. I would really enjoy that. And I love to drive and everything, but it's a lot more to truck driving than that. And
Right.
a common misconception with these young people is that they just think it's some easy job. So,
No.
what are some things that you have to be good at in order to be an effective truck driver and a profitable truck driver?
Time management. That's one of the most major things. Time management, like you have to have like great people skills because a lot of times we may be getting loaded and like depending on where you're getting loaded, some people like taking their time and like you can actually like go inside and like communicate with the people that you like you got that you need to be on schedule. that'll work out. But like that's a major thing though, cause like you may have to like talk to the brokers that book the loads, cause there be so much going on that a lot of times the dispatchers they just send a broker your number and you have to actually get finished handling the business as far as like booking the load,
Wow.
depending on what company you with. And like on the time management side, like right now I'm getting my oil changed and I have a load going to Mississippi. Like at the same time, you still have to make sure you get to that appointment time. And I could have been gone, but I'm getting truck maintenance. So either way, I'm still gonna have to be ready to move once they get done maintenance in the truck.
Wow. And then I would say also on the communication side, you're going to have to, if there's a breakdown of communication, you're going to need to know how much you have and what you have, because obviously you can't show up with the wrong thing or the wrong amount.
Right,
You're paying good money to have certain things there on at a certain amount of time. And there's not mistakes cannot be made in that.
right. You sure right about that.
Now, I know you said you got into trucking a little bit after high school, but what was your path to get the CDL and get trained to drive?
Oh, I had there was a school in Jackson called CRW truck driving training school, and that was like pretty much like the best school that I had came across. And it like they hands on. It's not like a big company that actually like, cause like a lot of them big companies, if you sign with like a big company, a lot of times they'll tie you to a contract, and once you get tied to the contract, you really have to like finish that contract out. If not, they're gonna charge you like just some crazy price that it really not even worth all that. So no, that's the major thing. Like when you get your license, you have to make sure you go about it the right way in obtaining your license.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously, it is a very profitable career, but it's you don't just need to sign your life away just at some quick cash. There's always
Right,
you need to look at the best offer, because obviously they need drivers, but you need to find the spot that's best for you. Because I know drivers that they think it's fun and then they're away from their family all the time. And they're like, yeah, this wasn't really what I expected.
right. And that's what I'm saying. Like you may think that like it may sound good hearing it from one person, but each situation is different for each driver. That's the main thing. Like you can make good money in this field, but it's the main thing about you have to be in the right situation. The first time you may not be in the right situation. The second time, but you still got to keep going and just keep looking.
Now, what type of things do you haul?
I haul mainly like dry goods, like dry I guess food. I haul like food products, tissue, like anything that can go back in the back of the trailer is dry.
So you're shipping to a lot of uh, like
Like like
retail. Just okay. So to retail.
Target warehouse.
Okay.
Because the load I got on, I picked up this morning is coming down to Byhalia, Mississippi,
Wow.
and I think there's like some plastic containers that I'm bringing down there.
Wow. Yeah, because I mean, everything in this planet has to be shipped, and you got to have people to do it. But you can't. It takes a trustworthy person to get things
Right,
there on time. Now, and also you talk about the time management. If and correct me if I'm wrong, you have the 11 hours on the road. And that
right,
time continues to run, even if there's a traffic jam, even if there's bad weather. So
right,
you have to somewhat plan ahead and, have the technology skills to look and see if there's going to be weather or have the communication skills to find other routes if it's needed. So
correct.
how does all that work?
Like as far as like the route planning, like it really is good to actually like whenever you get your load information, whenever you before you take off, it's good to actually know like alternate routes. Because a lot of times, like you said, it might be a collision, a backed up, something like that. It may be a like construction area that got traffic backed up, and like I said, I'm getting maintenance done on my truck. And if you on a like a tight time schedule, you're gonna want to know how the traffic operate. Like, cause I be using I got a few apps on my phone. I be using like some type of satellite apps that actually would show you how the traffic looking in certain areas. That way you have to like plan ahead because you don't want to get there and just be backed up in traffic for hours. And then like with some loads, like it'd be like a time sensitive load, so you only got so many days and like a certain time to get it there. And then they're like, and if you late after a certain amount of hours, they start docking the pay from the load payment. Yep.
That'll wake you up in a hurry if you start hitting your money. And plus, as
Right.
you said, at the end of the day, the only person they're going to associate with that company is the person behind the wheel, because you are
That's
a face of the
correct.
company. So yeah, you got to be a skilled driver, but you have to be presentable, and you got to, maybe, and it could be a breakdown of communication. You need to know exactly what's on your truck, exactly how much
Right.
it weighs, exactly the amounts, and how much you expecting to get paid for it. Because one, people can take advantage of you, but two, if their people are paying a lot of money, there can't be a breakdown of communication on that. It's extremely important to be knowledgeable of that stuff.
Right. That's correct. Cause like the I think like last week I was in Norfolk, Virginia, and they had loaded me twice with the wrong stuff. But luckily,
Wow.
like the first time, not some say, yeah, they loaded me wrong. They loaded me wrong twice. But the first time the first time they had me overweight. So by you being on time, like a time schedule, whenever you gotta try to make sure you get to the scale fast enough just to make sure you weigh your truck. And then at the same time, you gotta be thinking that this warehouse you just left, they on a time schedule too. They may be closing in a couple hours. So you gotta make sure you get their scale up, and you gotta communicate and try to get this truck reworked. At the same time, you still gotta try to make the appointment. And
Wow.
then whenever they had loaded me wrong, if I want to have like actually took my time to pay attention to the paper and actually like compare the numbers from the paperwork to what they had in the back of the trailer, I could have been hours down the road. Not even I could have been I made it to my destination with the wrong stuff, and
Stuff like that
wouldn't have been nothing
crazy.
anyone could do about it.
That would drive me crazy. Now,
Yeah.
just a couple more questions before I ask from the students. But one, I think there's a misconception that women cannot drive trucks, and I think there's more and more female truck drivers out there.
Man, something I think actually like just from talking to the guy I work for, like I think female actually would be like they more like careful in handling the truck. They're more careful than men. Men, like we tend to take more chances, tend to drive more aggressively. So yeah, I honestly like to see women out here driving trucks because it's good. Everybody getting in the truck driving. Everybody can do the job, and everybody can handle the business. And like I said, the women, I think they're more careful about it though. They're actually like a good thing. Though a lot of people really look to hire more women anyway.
Absolutely, and I've heard several trucking people say that obviously they need people, so they'll take people that are willing to work, but females even more so because they feel like they're more dependent. And like you said,
Right,
they're
yep.
drivers. So if any females are interested in getting into transportation, it's open for females now. Also, we hear a lot of these students say, "Well, I'm just going to start driving trucks at 18. I can get a CDL." But it doesn't just work like that. You can't just start driving to California when you're 18, 19 years
Right.
old. So how all does that process work?
Like since if you're 18, if you're below 21, you only can drive interstate, meaning like you only can stay inside the state
Yep.
and drive until you're 21. Another thing I want to say, like I know a lot of people be thinking they're gonna just jump in the truck. Like right now, like for the people that actually want to jump in the truck once they do get out of school or just eventually, it's good to like protect your license while you got a regular driver license because like if you just getting a bunch of moving violation tickets, like that's not gonna look good when somebody try to hire you because the insurance gonna be so high. They not gonna be able to hire you because like a lot of people be done got hired and they be done pay high insurance rate just to get these people under the insurance. They'll mess around and quit a week later just because the situation wasn't right for them from the beginning anyway.
Yeah,
So it's good to do your homework.
headache for everybody. And then when you get into the long haul, some of these companies say that they want they're hiring these drivers, but how would they get that experience to move up to that level? Because I mean, it's no secret there are some very lucrative driving jobs in this country.
Right. It's just like you said, like it's a process. It's a process tool. You have to work your way up. Cause right now I'm in driving, but like I just can't jump to flatbed heavy haul. I can do flatbed, but I can't just jump to heavy haul because I haven't done flatbed before. Like I done it before, but it ain't been enough amount of time for me to actually meet the requirements to actually do the heavy haul and like long haul. Cause they're right there, like if you do flatbed, they're more of a liability. More of a liability than it may be, the more experience they want you to have, the more clean of a record they want you to have.
Yeah, and I know with the flatbed as well, you got to be really experienced on the engineering side. just the basic engineering to tie stuff down, how stuff responds to certain materials it's tied to, how stuff responds to certain weather, because you have materials that are exposed. So that's actually a very good skill to have in the flatbed. And again, I'm not a truck driving expert, but I do know the flatbed drivers have told me that. He said you really got to know how the elements are going to affect your load, because it can damage it.
Right about that. And then another thing, I was about to say, another thing, like as far as like the flatbed and like the time management thing, like with the flatbed, and sometimes you may pull up to the receiver, and it may not be anyone there to actually operate this forklift to unload you. So that's another thing. You really got to be multi-skilled in like operating heavy equipment when dealing with like flatbed and like heavy haul, because they're gonna want you to actually know that.
Wow.
Because like if you can't, sometimes if you can't operate in a certain type of equipment with the heavy haul, you can't even get the load. Because like you just picking the equipment up. They don't necessarily mean that someone there to actually operate it for you to load it.
Yeah, and a lot of those companies will pay for that certification for you to learn.
Yeah,
because that's not a cheap certification, but it's one that is needed. So yeah, that's a good point. I never thought about that. But before I get to the couple students' questions I have here, coming from Velma Jackson, you were a great student. And in fact, your whole class has had so many great students, from Cameron Clerk, Kara Robinson, Corey Baker, just off the top of my head, Courtney Richardson, just so many great ones. Wallace Vaughns, so first of all, how did y'all inspire each other and encourage each other to stay on top of that stuff? Because y'all had such a great connection. And then how did even though y'all have all gone different paths and careers and colleges and different things, how did the stuff you learned here translate into these careers that you guys have gone into?
Like honestly, like I think as a group, we just wanted all of us to actually like do great and have success in class, because like our teachers we had, they actually was some motivating teachers, Miss Brown, Miss Flanagan, Coach Greg, Mr. Dyson, everyone that they're actually working there, they want to see the best for you. So and we actually want to see the best for our classmates. So we actually look forward to helping each other succeed whenever we can help any way we can.
Yeah, and I honestly believe that especially you guys that played sports and stuff, I think getting that experience here, that doesn't mean it's going to translate to an NFL career, but I think that skills you learned as a teammate really translate into being a great employee. I honestly believe that. And then and then, as silly as it sounds, I unfortunately don't have the drama program here anymore. But getting involved in something like that, you can't tell me that did not help your communication skills.
Right, it did. It really did.
You're going and making movies, but at the same time, it helps you, be able to present yourself.
Right, and as far as like another thing that actually like I think that I took from being in high school around you all, it seemed like y'all taught us to actually hold ourselves accountable for our action, hold ourselves accountable for like whatever we're doing, hold yourself accountable and like move forward, but hold yourself accountable though. That's the main thing. That way you'll better operate whenever you know whatever you do, it's on you.
Okay, I got a question from Janisa White here, and she asked, if you get behind on a shipment or you get behind on a haul you have, how do you make up the time?
How do you make up time? Like I said, like some like certain places they'll let you reschedule, but like Walmart, they'll if you behind on your schedule for Walmart, I think they give you like an hour window for like lateness. After that, and you had to reschedule, you may have to reschedule a couple days later. You can't do nothing because you already loaded.
Man, that's losing a lot of money right there.
Yeah, but like most like certain places though, they will like good about like rescheduling. But a lot of times, like if you're running your own business, that's holding you up having to reschedule though.
Yeah. And now Tony Daughtry, he's asking, what is the largest load you've ever completed?
Like since like the max weight we can haul, it's like we can like actually operate it as 80,000. I think like the heaviest load I had was maybe like 40,000 pounds.
Wow.
That's the heaviest it can be as far as like a regular dry van or a reefer trailer. But as far as like a flatbed, I think they can get up to like 85,000 maybe. So that means like they can haul maybe close to 50,000 pounds. But in another thing, like as long as you have permits, you gotta have permits to haul certain things, and like them permits can be really expensive. That's why some people don't even use the flatbeds because the permits be so high.
Yeah, and I know, yeah, and I know the permit to drive the dual load is not cheap either, but that's a good one to have because you get paid double on the load.
Right.
And we got fire alarms going off in the background. Sorry about that. But before we go, and also, what's the farthest you've been? You know, I don't think we talked about that last time.
Let me see. The farthest I've been, the farthest north I've been is, man, I think called Oswego, New York. It's more so like the middle. I think it's like the middle region of New York, but like the north end, because you can see the Great Lakes from that area.
Wow, that's
And like
incredible.
the farthest west side I've been is like maybe to like Monaghan, Texas. This like maybe I guess maybe like an hour or two from like New Mexico.
Yeah, right. It's right close to El Paso.
Yep.
Wow, that's incredible. I mean, who'd have thought, dude from Camden be able to see all that part of the country and have such a, it's such an important job you have. And I think it's important to realize that. And yeah, money can be made.
Right.
Also important to see that, if you're going to do it, it takes somebody to really put the effort and really learn the skills. It's not just something you can walk into, even though
Right. It's definitely a skill.
Yeah, even though we're super proud of you. But, but before we go, I asked you this last time, but, you were sitting in the same school, in these same hallways, with these same
Right.
teachers, and growing up in this same community. But yet, you forged your path to be doing a great career that is so necessary to our economy in this country, and you're always going to be in demand. And you've done a great job at it. But what can they do coming out of, about to graduate from high school at Velma Jackson to follow in your footsteps?
Let me see. I'm gonna say like right now, since they're in their last semester right now, the good thing I think I could have done better is like take as many college visits as you like take as many college visits as possible, because you actually can take something from like visiting the college that actually will like open your mind up to like doing something different. It may make you want to like go harder at what you're trying to achieve, but it's good to take those college visits too.
Yeah, and it can also show you that it's not a good fit for you.
Right. That's true. That's true. And like, and don't just because your friend or your classmates might want to attend this or might want to do that, it'll mean it's best for you. I always like it's okay. It's okay to listen and hear other people advice, but I always do what you think gonna be best for you, because you don't want to live with your decision at the end of the day.
Absolutely. And I think, I've said that so many times. It's great to hear somebody else say it. But my man, Teo, we're out of time. We thank you so much for joining us from Buffalo, New York today. And like I said, I've told you before, there's so many of us. I can speak for so many people. We are so proud to call you an alumni. And anytime you're back in town, we'd love to have you come talk. You're such an inspiration and such a great role model for our young men and women here.
Yeah, thank you, Coach Greg.
You're very welcome. And be safe on the streets, my man.
Yes, sir. Y'all take it easy too.
All right, see you.